questions that we're going to come back to systems, but can you share some of the questions that a small business owner or a person thinking about getting into business, a small business or entrepreneur, should ask a person who they're going to work with for support services, like an accountant or an attorney? Share some of those important questions with me.
I think in many instances when a client comes to me, the client will try to find out, how much do you cost? What is your price? Yeah. And I think that's a very important concern that any business will have, or particularly small business, since they are struggling. Some of them may be struggling as they try to get needed professional advice that they are looking for. Mm-hmm. But the critical thing, I think, is that they should not just base that decision of who they bring on their team solely on price alone. I think price is an important factor, but I think they should ask also about the capacity of the accountant or the other professional. Mm-hmm. Will they be able to meet their needs? And these are some of the needs that I have. Will you be able to address them? Is this within the scope of the companies that you service? Because if I'm a company, if I'm an accountant, and most of my clients have $5 million in revenues, and you're coming on with $500,000 in revenues, my time would not be allotted a lot to your needs, and I may not address some of your concerns because I have other clients that would have greater demand on my time. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, you should also try to assess the experience of the accountant. Where is their particular expertise? Are you a person that may need more maybe management accounting related services versus tax preparation or something like that?
Talk about that for a little bit, the diversity in the accounting process that a small business might need.
Oh, certainly. One of the key things a person may just need a person that may be just a bookkeeper, which is a basic accountant that can provide those kinds of service. Mm-hmm. They may need more information as it relates to making management decisions as to preparing themselves to get a loan. For example, they may need to get a loan for $200 or $1 million or millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. Then they need someone to help them put that package together. And putting that together would require the help of an accountant in the sense of preparing those financials, understanding how to put the information, the cover letter, all that information that goes with, and how to how to put the financial information in the form that it will put them in the best light, whether it's they may choose to do cash basis accounting, accrual basis accounting. So the various forms or methodologies an accountant may use to present the financial information may impact what the results are in terms of the bottom line of the company, whether it may be profitable or not profitable. Mm-hmm. And that will have an impact also on how you, whether you get a loan or not. And also explanations for how you have been operating over a period of time. Suppose you have been through volatile periods of operations. Now, you may have some losses or something but those could be explained away. So you have to be prepared how you're going to explain those volatilities that have occurred within the operation. It could have been a temporary blip. So you have to be cognizant of that and understand how I'm going to explain this away, so that the banker feel comfortable with my explanations and feel comfortable with my business as they try to address my financial concerns and needs, and which is I need some more money to get my business going again. And I would say the best time to always get money from a bank is always when you don't need it. So whenever things are going good, you go in and set up your credit line. Yes. And that's one of the key things you should try to do when set up your credit line as soon as you can so that you can get moving. Because if things are going bad, generally it's very difficult to get any help from anyone because no one wants to get on board a sinking ship.
Now that is so key because a lot of times individuals, even yesterday, I was exposed to a situation where one of the participants said, basically, if the business is not making money, why would I want to, not making money now, why would I want to put money into it now?
Right.
You always have those questions. And as a small business or an entrepreneur, and I use the word synonymously, oftentimes entrepreneurs go into small businesses or they continue as entrepreneurs. But as we identify the small business arena and think of both of them, when you're helping them to plan for future activity, a lot of times you just indicated they should get money when they're in good shape.
Yes.
But let's say they're trying to get there, but they have not done anything in the past to build that foundation, and now they show up at your doorstep, say, "Listen, I want to borrow money from the bank." Now, what is your advice to that person who hasn't really had an idea, a clue, or done anything to prepare before? What do you have to do with them to get them ready for the bank?
Well, one of the key things is trying to get an understanding of their business model.
Okay.
How they're set up. How do they plan to grow their company? Is the business they're in a growth business? And what are the prospective growth and revenues over the next, say, 3 or 4 years? Once I can understand that there's revenue there, and the question now is there any competition there in that same line of business? And if there's not much competition, is their business unique and differentiated enough to be able to succeed within that line of business? Now, if the person has a good business model, they have the prospects to make money in this line of business, I think it could be a go. Then the next phase is, at what size of business are we looking at? Is this a scalable business? Are we talking about a company that is going to be looking in terms of revenues of millions and millions of dollars? Or are we talking about a company that's going to be, thousands of dollars? So it makes a difference in terms, if we're looking for this person, for example, is looking to raise money. Scalability, in terms of, well, if we do the same business here, can we do it in New York? Can we do it in other cities?
Can it be duplicated?
Other locations? Can it be duplicated? Or in others, within Massachusetts or within the state itself, can it be duplicated? So the duplicity issue becomes a big important point. And once we can establish that there's prospective revenue there and it's solid, and there's a solid plan to come back again to the business plan, that we have set up a business plan relating to that and outlined how we would approach our marketing and how we would bring on staff, et cetera, and all that stuff. And we're able to execute. We look now at the management team. The management team of the company becomes so critical in these matters, and it's probably one of the most important factor. The drive of the person is not very experienced, is their drive and their capacity and the experience that they have becomes very important. And if the person has done anything similar to the line of business they're in, also is very good, because that means that they understand the nature of the business and they understand the nuances within the business itself.
Okay.
Sometimes anyone can be successful once the economy is going good. It's when the things are not going good that a person with the nuances and understanding within that business area makes a big difference.
One of the interesting things is that some people apparently sort of don't look at with the right lens, is that you start and you want to grow. Now, some people want to grow in business. If you're going to be a successful business, you want to grow because either you're growing or you're dying business-wise. The question becomes, okay, I want to